Hey, my name's Matt Johnson. So glad to be here with you on this fine Thursday. Want to let you know that my course, Ultimate Wedding Filmmaker, signups are currently open for it, but they're closing tonight at midnight Pacific time. So if you want to get in on the course, now's the time to do it at ultimateweddingfilmmaker.com. Also, it's linked down in the description if you want to save some time. But what am I doing here today then? I'm here today to answer any questions that you have about wedding filmmaking. Specifically, if you want to talk about filming weddings, you want to talk about editing weddings, you want to talk about the business of wedding filmmaking, I'm an open book, here to answer any and all of your questions or anything else for that matter. So, if you want to talk about wedding filmmaking, you want to talk about cameras, you want to talk about gimbals, you want to talk about how to get more bookings, whatever you want to talk about, I'm here to answer your questions. So, yeah. Also, we just had a baby like a month ago, so if you're any screaming, crying children, it's just her. Just being a baby. No big deal. Rachel has her, thankfully. And, yeah, pretty chill on this nice Thursday here. Right? Thursday. Almost the weekend here. Crazy. I got one of these for Christmas, and it's amazing. I know, like, every woman out there has one, but it's wonderful, and I can see why they have them. They're amazing. Oh my goodness. Anyways, Fiesta Digital Media is here. Hello. Glad you made it. Glad you're here. Jared Gartner Simons is here. Hey. Let's see, I need to rearrange some of this stuff here. There we go. That's better. I'm trying to like figure out how to orient the screen here. I'm kind of upset that hey yo didn't say hey yo. Instead they just said hello. You had an opportunity there just to say your username. It would have been better. No, it's okay. Tracy's here. Hello. I don't know how long we'll be on. Probably like an hour and a half. I don't know. Something like that. Until Rachel yells at me that the baby's going crazy. I need help. Which can happen eventually here. Oh, man. Let's see here. Daniel Santa asks, hello, awesome job with the videos. I just want to start wedding filmmaking. Should I focus on social media for promoting it first? Social media is a great place to do it. Great, totally great option. Oh, Paul Giroux's here. Hey, Paul. Glad you're here. Oh, man. Yeah, social media is a great option if you want to do that. The problem with social media is you're kind of restricted by, like, the algorithms, and basically, like, they're going to want you to pay to really get people to see them, especially if they're not already, like, friends or family of yours. I'm a much bigger fan of building relationships with other vendors and things like that. So building connections with photographers, venues, planners, etc. I think will be really, really helpful to you with that. Oh, man. Hello from Greece, Sotiris. What? B-Moy says, best way to tackle backlog in 2023. Oh, man. Dude, I will tell you, if you're not outsourcing, outsource. Outsourcing is fantastic. Highly recommend outsourcing. Not everything if you don't want to, but if you're dealing with a backlog, hiring another company to help you edit it or just like organize the footage and stuff like that, that was life-changing for me with getting things done. Saved me so much. Oh my gosh. Levi says, hey Levi. Cessna Creative Matt's live. I'm here. Hello. Happy Thursday. That's right. Jara says, what is your opinion about choosing music for a wedding video instead of letting the couple choose their favorite music? I actually have a video entirely about this on my YouTube channel. It's like I made it years ago, but literally the way I see it is you never want to let the couple choose. You can let them give you suggestions and recommendations and styles, but you don't want the couple to choose because they don't really know what they want. They might be like, oh, yeah, I like this one song, but like you're trying to create something that's going to be watched by them for the rest of their lives. And so what are the odds they're actually going to love this song that they say they like in 20 years? Not as likely. And if you're really trying to tell a story, you really need to find music that fits them and their emotion and their vibe and their energy. So that's where I would say, hey, let's not have the couple choose. Instead, like give them option. Like I would just say like, hey, like I'm going to do it. You don't have to worry about it. Like just give me some recommendations for things you like and we'll take it from there. That's what I would do. Hey Yo says, should I create a separate IG page for my wedding portfolio? It depends on what else is on your portfolio. Because if it's like fun personal stuff from you, you could probably leave it because that's just going to help hopefully drive more people to you because they'll see you and be like, oh, I like this person and here's some of their work and they're great. That's really good. But if if it's like if you have like doing completely different stuff on your current Instagram page, but you're also posting wedding films too, in that case, I would probably create a separate Instagram page just for your wedding portfolio and split it up. Hello from Mexico, Dave. And Jared's in the Netherlands. Everybody's all around the world. We're all international. Look at that. Fantastic. Tyler says, do you back up your footage locally? How much backup do you currently have? Dude, I have so many hard drives. It's insane. I just did a video about a QNAP NOS. I'm starting to use that as well, which is fantastic. I need to buy more hard drives for it. But I'm a big fan of having footage on at least 2 locations local. So like on your computer if you're going to be editing it, and then on like a separate location, another external hard drive, and then also off-site. So if you want to use Dropbox or Google Drive, or if you want to literally like have hard drives at a friend's house, you can do that as well. Just off-site as well, because that's going to be really important, I think. I think it'll be really good. Sarah Canducci's here. Hello. Isn't it getting late there? I don't know what time it is. Isn't it late? I don't know. You're over there in Italia. Sotira says, I'm thinking of switching from 1080p to 4K, but is it absolutely necessary? I don't think it's absolutely necessary. Like, nobody's going to fight you over it. I do think that it's another selling point, and 4K is kind of the standard now. Like, not many people are buying 1080p TVs these days. And a lot of cell phones are now above 1080p resolution. Everything's just going higher res, man. So I think that if you're not there yet, you're going to come to a point soon where you need to do that, I would say. Heyo says they've been doing music videos and events. Yeah, maybe separate if you're doing music videos, because like people that are wanting music videos aren't going to necessarily want to see weddings, and people that see weddings aren't necessarily going to want to see music videos. So I would probably split that up. Edie Wedding Productions. How can you outsource if you have 500 gigs of data per wedding? Hopefully I have a fast internet connection and upload it and then send it off. That's what I do. Alternatively, the company that I work with, Archaeus Creative, they're based out of California. They're not linked in the description of this video, but literally in like all of my other videos, they're linked in the description. So if you want to check them out, they will let you send them a hard drive. I've done it before. Just ship them a hard drive. It costs like, $10-20 to ship a hard drive. They take it, they edit it, then they'll ship it back to you. It's pretty cool. Jeffa says, hello from a Brazilian living in Latvia. That's interesting. Oh man, that's cool. James Smith says, I post travel and weddings on the same page, trying to get lead for travel weddings. That's great. That's a good way to do it. Paul Giroux, what about JBOD versus NOS? I'm a fan of, if you have a device that's capable of being a RAID array where it has that extra backup in the event that things break, that's kind of why you're buying a NAS, right? NAS. People are commenting, I've never heard somebody call it a NAS. I'm like, is it NAS or is it NAS? I don't know, because I feel like I called it NAS in my video about QNAP, but is it NAS? I just feel like with me and my Texas accent, I want to be careful if I'm saying like, get your NAS over here. We got our NAS and we're connecting it. I didn't want to sound too redneck, so I went more NAS. I went more posh with it. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I would prefer to use a NAS with a RAID array, or a NAS with a RAID array, whatever. Mas Mizobuchi says, Matt, how do you deal with couples ghosting after you send the... Oh, and then you're down to like, the film. Oh, yeah, the film. I was like, there's a lot of things you send them. The film, well, like, ideally you have their... I wouldn't just email it to them. Like, ideally you have their phone number. Like, text them too. Be like, I always do that with my couples. I'm like, hey, by the way, like, I'm seeing your wedding video. Like, check your email. And so then they're doing that, and then you can have more engagement there with them. Because people don't always reply to emails, but they usually reply to text. And you can always call them. Hey, did you like the video? What are you doing? If you even care. That's an option. Alex says, have you traveled international? Yep, done a good amount of international weddings. What kind of drone do you usually bring? I would usually bring my Mavic 2 Pro, which I still have. I didn't upgrade to the Mavic 3 yet. I was like, do I need to? I don't know. If anything, I might buy like if you're gonna buy one, the Mini 3 Pro, killer little drone, little baby drone, fantastic for travel. That's what I would do. Tyler Zielinski, tips for just starting your videography business. Just officially made mine last weekend. I was for sure plan to start off with. So if you're just getting started, and like, if I'm assuming, have you filmed a wedding yet? Have you not filmed? You probably have already like filmed a wedding, because usually people like film some weddings and then they're like, oh yeah, I guess I'm a videographer now. Like, not many people like start their company and they're like, now I'm filming weddings. We all kind of get tossed into it, right? Like a cousin asks you to film their wedding and you're doing it. So like the good news is that like you creating your business is just making you more official. It's showing people, ideally, like if you don't have a website built, make sure that's built, make sure that's formatted, make sure you have a logo, get some business cards, make sure that like your company looks official. Cause that way you're able to charge more money, because couples, you gotta remember, they're paying you thousands of dollars. And if you're not, if you don't look professional, and what I mean by that is like having a website, having like social media presence, like they're like, you want your couples to trust that they can give you thousands of dollars. If they're just, if you literally just have like an Instagram page and you're like, hey, hire me, they're like gonna be like, are you real? Like, should I trust you? They might trust you for $500, but they might not trust you for like $2,000, $3,000. So just something to keep in mind there. Oh my gosh, I'm slow. I'm trying to keep up. I'm sorry. Oh man. Sarah Caducci, 10 p.m. in Italy. There you go. Doing it. Yusef asks, did you rent or own your own lights when you started? I bought some. I bought like, this is back before LEDs were really a thing, and I bought this $500 kit that had all these super bright and hot tungsten lights. They were terrible, and a lot of them melted. So yeah, now just lights are cheap. You can buy some cheap LEDs that still look good, just to start off with that. James Smith, never go back to 8-bit. Yeah. Blue Box says, what do you use to upload footage? Google Drive. No, I used to use Google Drive, but they're not unlimited now, so now I use Dropbox, and I think it's $60 per month, but it's unlimited, and I upload stuff nearly every day. So yeah, totally worth it. Jared says, what's your favorite wireless mic for weddings? Well, still, you like still a Tascam, perhaps the Tentacle. Well, there's like none of those are wireless. Like neither the Tentacle or the Tascam. Like the Tentacle has like time code sync, but otherwise they're not really wireless. So in that case, I would probably give it to the Tentacle. I've only used it once, but I really liked it. But the Tascam is still great too. So one of those, and there's a lot of new mics coming out right now that are really, really cool. So we're seeing a lot of cool stuff right now. Like there's you have the Zoom F2, you have some cool stuff. So yeah, I feel like everything's Tascam for me still. Levi, is the Tascam DR2L still relevant? Or maybe go with the Rode Go 2. You can. I've just heard so many mixed things about the Rode Go 2. I still haven't used it. I had the Rode Go 1 and the transmission range is really bad. And I've heard a lot of just like complaints about the range of it being, I've heard that like the Rode Go is more like prosumer than pro. And yeah. Jeff says he calls it NAS. Okay. Dave says Canon or Nikon to film weddings. Ooh, that's tough. I will tell you, I just got done using the Nikon Z9, and it's pretty majestic. But if you weren't going to buy the Z9, I would definitely go with Canon. Levi says you can mount on a mic as a backup. Yes, and I've seen people do that. Anthony says, tips for filmmakers struggling to get people to pay your rates. Ooh, this is good. Okay, so if you're getting people if you're getting like couples that are like, hey, like we can't afford you, like sorry, like our budget's only $1,000 and you're charging $1,500. Can you come down in price? Blah blah blah. I would tell you basically to, it's counterintuitive, but there are higher paying couples out there that are willing to pay you more money. Okay, that's like the first thing you have to get accept. And it took me forever to realize this, and I was like, oh no, nobody wants to pay me. You need to be confident that even if you raise your prices, there's going to be more people that want to book you for that. That's like the first thing, just like the mental stress about that. And then as far as like getting people to pay your rates go, like once you get past that like mental block of it and you're willing to charge more, you're still dealing with couples that are like, hey, I can't really do it. I would honestly look at the weddings that you're filming right now. Look at the weddings that you're showing and advertising on your website and online to people. And there's a whole belief out there of like what you show is what you get. And so if you're showing lower end weddings, then you're going to like book lower end weddings. And like if you're showing lower budgets, then you're going to book lower budgets. And so what I would encourage you to do is like try to book, like it's one of those things where like you fake it till you make it. You got to like book like one higher end wedding, but maybe it isn't like a wedding where the couple's necessarily paying you more, but basically you like get your foot in the door and you're like, hey, I'll film it for a cheaper rate. Just let me film this nice wedding. And then you use that to advertise, and then people are going to want to book you because they see the higher quality wedding. And they're going to be like, oh, this is a really awesome wedding and they did a great job and it looks really high value. I'm really high value, so I'm going to hire you. That's one way to do it. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but that's one way. Samaya from Mauritius. Let's see here. What's up? Brian says FX30 or Sony A7 IV for first camera. I would probably go FX30 actually. Like the A7 IV is great, but the crop and the risk of overheating, like if I was doing just video, I'd probably go FX30. Copter Shots had a couple who wanted to watch their wedding video together, so they did a Zoom call when you watched it. That's cool. Visions by AG. How many films do you shoot a year? We're filming less than 10 now, but for like years, I think my peak was like 30, 35, something like that. It was crazy. And then like got married, had a baby, had to like, I got two kids now. It's insane. Gotta make YouTube videos for you guys here. But I still am filming weddings though. I have another wedding coming up next weekend. Oh gosh. Not this weekend, next weekend. Soon. Yeah. What's wrong, baby girl? This baby doesn't like you. Sarah Canducci says the Mini 3 Pro kills the Mavic 2 Pro in terms of sharpness and image quality. That's awesome. Good deal. That's great. Let's see here. So I'm sorry I'm so far behind, guys. Tyler says, I've been filming weddings for 3 years. I just decided to make my own company. What's the best way to get my name out there? I would try to network as much as possible with venues, coordinators, planners, which are the same thing. Venues, planners, and like other photographers. So like getting to know them, saying like, hey, I exist. Here's my work. Like I would love to work with you. Things like that. That was one of the biggest things for us, is like building relationships like that. And that was really, really helpful. Cody's here from Optimum Videography. Hey, man. Hope you're doing well, dude. Good seeing you. Osby says, any thoughts about buying a Sony a7S III as my first camera? And because of the cost of some event work, where would I get the first few gigs from? Yeah, so that's a thought there of like, you know, you need to like have gigs to make money to afford a camera. It's a chicken and egg problem, right? Like I need money to like buy this camera, but I need the camera to be able to film. And so maybe like you don't do A7S III then. Maybe you go cheaper then. Maybe you go more affordable, like something like the FX30. Fantastic camera, like, and half the cost. So maybe something like that. If you want to go even cheaper, you could go with like an A6400. Still a good camera. I have one in the other room. Just to like make it easier to do that. And then as far as like first few gigs, if we're talking weddings, like reach out to friends and family members that are getting married. I guarantee you'll find somebody that's getting married that'll be like, yeah, sure. Like I'd love to have you film my wedding. You'll do it for free, right? Or for very cheap. And you're like, yeah. But like the whole point is just to get your foot in the door so you can make some money. And so you have like a portfolio piece that you can show to other people so you can book more in the future. Jan says, what is your favorite lens for the FX30? Ooh, that's good. I'm a big fan because it's a crop sensor. Like you're not going to have quite the depth of field you get from a full frame camera. So I think Sigma makes a 16 millimeter and a 30 millimeter. And both of those are f1.4 and they're less than $500 each. Great lenses. Great. So I would probably go with those. Eric Pelukno. I hope I got that right. Say thanks. Thanks, buddy. Rick Productions, LLC or DBA? Or does it matter? I will tell you that I operated as a DBA for many years, and it never was a negative, really. Like, it was fine. It was easy to do taxes. You're just like, it's me. Here's my business. Here's my taxes. I still hired somebody to do it, but yeah. LLC will give you some more protection, especially as you grow your business, because in the event that somebody decides to sue you, as long as you're keeping your finances from your business and yourself separate, if somebody decides to come after you, like, they can only sue you for the business and what the business has, not like you, and they can't like take your house or your car or something like that. So in that case, an LLC makes more sense. We did eventually switch to an LLC, which we are now, and we still hire somebody to do our taxes, so it's not super crazy or anything like that. But I would say eventually LLC is the way to go. Just at the start here and all, like if you're getting started, DBA is fine. Let's see here. Ozb says, any thoughts about buying a Sony a7S III as my first camera? Okay, you asked that. I answered that. Didn't I answer that? Okay, you commented a lot. Wow. Tracy says, if you had to choose one, would you go with the wedding wire or the knot? I'm not a huge fan of either of those companies. Like they're basically interchangeable to me, like in my brain. And the reason I'm not a huge fan of them is that I kind of view them as online bridal shows in a way, and nothing against bridal shows. I've been to bridal shows. I've attended them. I've looked at them. I've met like a lot of the vendors from them. I know people that go to bridal shows personally, and like have booths there and things. But what I find from bridal shows is that oftentimes it's a lot of brides and grooms they're attending that don't necessarily know what they want for their wedding. And so they're just like, I'm just looking for a deal. And so everything becomes about price at a bridal show. Everybody's like, what's the best deal you can get? What's the cheapest thing? And I feel like Wedding Wire and the Knot are kind of the same way, where they're sort of encouraging people to look at all the different vendors and look at all these different videographers, and here's ones that are offering discounts and coupons and cheap. And it's just everybody competing on price. And I don't want to see you compete on price. Okay, I don't want to compete on price. I don't want you to compete on price. I want you to compete on quality. I want people to see your work and be like, holy crap, this is amazing. I have to book this person. And it's hard to do that whenever you're lost in the sea of all the other videographers on those sites. So I'm not going to say don't do it. I would say like just pick whichever one's cheaper and you can run some ads on it for a year. And like, I know you will see some bookings from it at the start, but after a year or two, like I would probably drop them and be like, this isn't really worth it, because the bookings you're going to be getting once you get out of a certain price point, once you start charging more than like a few grand, a lot of the bookings are going to dry up from those sites because a lot of people are too much looking for a deal, and you won't be offering a deal. You're going to be competing on quality, not price. Cool. Hope that helps, Tracy. MDM Films. Hey, I can't edit 120 FPS 4K with my 2019 MacBook Pro. I mean, that's a bummer, but depends on like what sort of CPU you have and everything like that. I can tell you if you bought like just a MacBook, upgrade to like a MacBook Air, it'll probably edit it, because the MacBook Airs are crazy. Really good. Fiesta Digital Media. How do you deal with a DJ who won't let you plug into their equipment at a reception? What would you do? Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, had that happen before multiple times. Dealt with that personally. Talk to the DJ ahead of time, okay? You need to send an email to the DJ before the wedding, introducing yourself, asking if you can plug into their sound system. That way, if they say yes, then you're good to go and you don't have to worry about it. And if they don't reply, then you can start planning for contingencies. Because if they won't let you plug in, then they won't let you plug in, and that's okay. At that point, you go to your backup plan of miking every single person that's giving a toast individually with a Tascam DR10L lav mic, for example. There are workarounds in the background. Blue Box Studios. How do you find those higher paying couples when you live in a lower income state and city? I'm having so much trouble finding anyone who's willing to pay above 2K. I completely understand that, because it's like you're dealing with this and I say this here, like having lived in smaller towns before, where it's really tough to like, there's like my town when I was growing up had 20,000 people in it. You're like, who's getting married here? Nobody's getting married. I get it. What helped me was, there's two things I would say to think about it. First of all, like think about, sorry, my child is crying in the background here, and my wife is trying to console her. First thing I would think about is even if you are in a town where it feels like nobody's willing to pay for something like that, I guarantee you if you go to a coffee shop in town, there are probably 10 people with MacBooks that paid $3,000 for a laptop. Like there are people that will pay $3,000 for a wedding video in your town. It's just, are they getting married right now, etc. But also like building your brand in a way that makes them want to be okay with booking you. And so a lot of that's like getting your name out there and like being okay with being like, hey, they're the most expensive person in town, because oftentimes people equate being the most expensive with being the highest quality. And so it's okay if you're the most expensive, because people are like, oh, they're the best, they charge the most. So that's one way to think about it. Also, I would say that for me, I found that I had to be willing to travel some too, to book higher end weddings. Like, don't be afraid to travel to a bigger city if there's one nearby. Like I would drive 2 hours to go film a wedding. I've driven 4 hours to go film a wedding. I've driven like 13 hours once, but yeah, that was across a few states. My point here is like being willing to travel to these higher end, to like wedding, to cities where more expensive weddings happen are good too. Yusef says, sorry if I don't know this. Are you a solo filmmaker or are you working with more people? I film with my wife, Rachel, usually. Otherwise, I film solo. Usually with my wife, Rachel, though. And occasionally we'll hire other people, but since we have babies, it's like been more me filming, which is fine. Aaron Tyree says, I've been struggling to come up with a company name, but everything's already taken. Is Aaron Tyree Media bad? Like Aaron Tyree Wedding Films? It's unique. Nobody else got it, I bet. Just a thought. B-Boy, all these people in chat, only 2 likes? Yeah, if you like this, like the video, please, if you want to. It's cool. I think it says there's 26 likes right now. And there's 105 of you watching. Hit that like button, please. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. There's so many comments. I'm sorry. Thoughts on other wedding vendors having their own BTS crew on the wedding day? I've seen it happen. I'm not super opposed to it. Like that's something you'd probably like talk to them about ahead of time, talk to the couple about ahead of time. See if you could be offering them some services instead of them needing to bring their own person. That's a thought. Let's see here. Sirac City, can you make it as a solo wedding videographer? Yeah, I know people that film solo. Totally. They make really good money filming solo. So you can totally do that. Kyle says, hey Matt, any more BTS? Yes, more BTS is coming. It will like Q1. I'm going to put it that way. We've got the editing company that I use is working on it right now. The next BTS it's a big one. I'm just going to say it's a big one. It was like 4 days of shooting, 5 days of shooting. It's going to be, it's going to be a big boy. Okay. It's going to be real great. That one, yeah, I would say, I'm going to guess March. Let's tentatively say March. You'll see the next BTS. But it is coming. So, yeah. If Sarah Canducci, very often planners give me a hard time when it comes to audio or timings just because other videographers don't need all this. I would say, like, building those relationships with those planners where, hey, they may be like, oh, you're the hard one to work with. You're difficult to work with. But they know you do good work and your work is going to speak for it. And if you can make them look good, then they're going to be fine with it. And just building those relationships like consistently where they're like, oh, I'm working with Sarah. Okay, she may be a little, I know how she likes her audio. Okay, then we'll build this into the schedule. And then they just work with you better. That's what I found that really helps out a lot. Fiesta Digital Media, A7C or FX30 for safety cam. I would say FX30 just because it's 10-bit. And so it's going to match all of Sony's newer cameras better, way better than the A7C. Chris Truitt, hey man, how many weddings are you averaging a year if you don't mind me asking? I think I just asked this. So less than 10, because it was, for a while it was like 30 something, then 20 something. Now we're down to like 10, less than 10, because it's like, do I have time to do that and make YouTube videos and raise children? It's crazy. But yeah. But it's nice because I get to take the weddings that I really want to take, and it's so fun. How to get a chance not being a wedding videographer, photographer with wedding planners that already have their own people that always work with them. Okay, so I understand there's sort of a cliquishness there of like, oh, like the wedding planner is in town. They all already have their own like videographers and people that they work with. What I want you to keep in mind is that, yes, while the established wedding videographers may have that, that doesn't mean that they're always going to have that their people are always going to be available for weddings. And I've had like wedding planners in Houston, which is like a very competitive market. And I've had wedding planners that I know have people that I'm not on their list, but they've still reached out to me about weddings because they already had weddings. The people they normally get already had weddings booked. So they had to go with me. And I was like, hello, yes, great, happy to do that. And so that gave me an opportunity to build that relationship. The other thing to think about is that there's a lot of planners out there that are not like, that are just up and coming like you are. Like there's a ton of people out there that are wanting to get into wedding planning. And guess what? None of them have their own videographers that they recommend yet. None of them have that built up list of people. But you could be that person. That could be you. Dun, dun, dun. Osby, wow, almost a 2-minute delay? Is it only 2 minutes? Could be more than that, man. I don't know. I talk a lot. Yusef, do you use a CRM like Dubsado? I've heard good things about Dubsado. There's Honeybook. I've heard really good things about Dubsado lately, actually. I personally don't use it. I literally just have like a wife that's super coordinated and Google Sheets and email. I make it work. Yeah, if you need a management software, use a management software for sure. Willie Lou, hey Matt, I've got 2 questions. How do you mic up the bride during the ceremony if the couple asks you to not make their video public? Okay, so 2 questions here. How do you mic the bride? There's a video on my YouTube channel called How to Mic the Bride. Watch that because it literally will tell you better than I can. It has examples. It has video. Yeah, it's great. If the couple asks you to not publicize their wedding video, what would you do? Have them sign an NDA and have them pay for it. So charge them like $500. Be like, yeah, I'm happy to not publish your video online, but that is going to result in me getting less bookings, so I'm going to have to charge you an NDA fee, and I'll send you a nice NDA form for you to sign. That way you can say, like, Matt will not put it out there on the internet, but they're also going to pay you for that because you're losing business because you can't use that to promote your business. Cool. MDM, what's the best laptop for editing? Sony a7S III footage, highest quality without proxies and playback. Please explain in depth. Just buy a new MacBook. Buy the like the M1, buy the M2 Max, M2 Pro Max. Yeah, just do that. Or the M1 Pro Max will still do it too. Yeah, just the new MacBooks are fantastic, and that's like the only laptop that I really recommend anybody to buy right now because it's just they're so much better than PC right now. It's kind of insane. Yeah, so there you go. Let's see, Randy Robinson. I love that name, Randy Robinson. For the last 3 years, I've only live streamed weddings. I'm ready to get back into traditional love story / highlights. I feel like the biggest hurdle for me is rebranding my website. Well, you've already got Randy Robinson. I love that. That's great. I'm guessing that your website is currently like aimed more at live streaming. So probably take out a lot of that messaging, shift it more toward like, the good news is that like live streaming is pretty similar to wedding filmmaking. You can still offer that as an option. But I feel like a lot of it's going to be like, okay, let's remove all the live streaming references. Let's put a wedding video on there if you have one. And if not, then like film a wedding so you can get and put it on there. Just do one for free just to build a portfolio. You've been filming weddings for a while, at least ceremonies. You know how to do it. And then put that up there along with contact form, examples of your work, etc. That'll help. That'll help out a ton. Mr. Wolf, hi, do you think the A7 IV will get raw video in the future? It already has raw video over external HDMI, I think. Doesn't it? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's just the FX30. I don't think it's going to come, regardless. If it doesn't have it, they're not going to add it. Sony ain't been adding a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things people are asking for with their new cameras right now that ain't been happening. MDM says I've been using hard drives for storage. Just found about SSDs. Yeah, SSD is the way to go. Levi says Zoom F2 versus F3, completely different recorders. Like one of them's a tiny little lav-sized recorder that you like run a lav mic into. The other one's like a full-on recorder that has XLR inputs. So completely different uses. For example, like I wouldn't plug the Zoom F2 into a DJ soundboard. I would plug the F3 into the DJ soundboard. So yeah, there you go. Earhart Productions. Where were you? Oh no, I'm trying to catch up. Dun, dun, dun. Earhart says, I promise people are willing to pay. Once you get your name out there, recommendations will come. There you go. Cool. Also, by the way, guys, I feel like I haven't given a shout out for this in a while. If you want to check out my Ultimate Wedding Filmmaker course, it's linked down in the video description. And signups are only open until tonight at midnight Pacific time. So if you want a lot more answers to your questions all about wedding filmmaking, check out the course. It's going to be really helpful to you. Shotmaker Media, where do you see yourself in 10 years? That's the thing I struggle with the most. No one wants to hire a 45-year-old dude. I don't know. I know some older people that are still filming weddings. They're doing some really, really good work. Think about Hollywood, okay? Like some of the best Hollywood DPs and filmmakers are in like their 70s right now. Granted, they're probably not running around carrying as much camera gear, but that's something where, hey, maybe you're outsourcing that, or maybe you're like bringing along a lot of assistants to help you out with that. That's a thought. As far as like, I don't know, me in 10 years, that's very unpredictable. Because like 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been on this live stream. I was still filming weddings with a Sony FS100, I think. Yeah, like I was just getting married. You know, it's crazy. Long time ago. Andrew Goodwin, currently using a 6500. It's really showing its age. Thoughts on an upgrade for a hybrid shooter? Probably the A7 IV. Because that's going to be like 10-bit video, but still really good at photo. That's probably what I would do. How did you find Nidin Koz says, how did you find a good accountant? Google, I think, or no, I think like my parents knew somebody, you know, like ask around. Like it's like ask other self-employed people in your town and city who they use, because I guarantee they're probably using someone. That's how I found that's one way I found somebody good. So yeah. Video Clipa Films, hi, nice to see you. Is it better to show your prices directly on the website or only via email? I literally have a YouTube video about this that should help you out. If you're just getting started, I would just put your prices on your website, but as you start to raise your prices more, don't put them on your website, just put your starting price. Daniel Santa, how is the Tamron 20 to 40? Haven't tried it yet. Need to try it. I know. I don't have any connection with Tamron. I need to get more connected with Tamron. JW Film Visions. I feel like people think their films will excel because they have the newest or most expensive camera rather than shifting the mindset and focusing on storytelling. Yeah, and I agree with you there. I think that story is king. At the same time, it's easier to like buy a camera than to like focus on storytelling. So yeah, I think it definitely needs to like both need to happen. Like there's room for some upgrades, but let's also focus on the story a lot. MDM is talking about the laptop still. Let's see here. Optimum Videography. How do you find your songs on MusicBed? Oh man. I like their playlists if you're just looking for something right away. They also have a song search thing where they will literally like you just email them what you're looking for and then they'll email you back a day later with recommendations. Love that. Use that all. Like it's just fantastic. So that's what I push people to a lot. If you like are trying to find stuff on your own, I don't know. We have like a list of artists that we like, and we sort of revisit those artists as they release new stuff, and that usually helps out too. Let's see here. Cromer Media, when is the next wedding film review live stream? Next week. I'm tentatively thinking it's going to be next Thursday. So yeah, if you want to sign up for my email list at get.whoismatt.com, that'll get you on the email list and you'll be notified whenever I send that out. Blue Box Studios, does this live video get posted afterwards? Yeah, it'll be up later. So if you want to watch it, you can just watch it later if you want to. But my Ultimate Wedding Filmmaker course will not be available later. It's ending tonight at midnight Pacific time. So if you want to sign up and join and learn a crap ton more about wedding filmmaking, and you can leave comments on the lessons and I'll answer them and help you out, which I'm way quicker to reply to those than to these. Sorry, trying to get through this stuff here. Zach Branchuk, have you gotten any referrals from previous vendors that you've given info to? Yes, done that a ton. I like it. So many of my bookings have come from referrals from other vendors. A lot of it's being friendly, saying like, hey, it was so great working with you. Would love to work with you again. And then if you can offer them like something of more value too, if you can create them like a little edit or something like that you have of them, or like footage from the wedding day that you can give to them, they're going to love that. And they're like, holy crap, this person's amazing. I would love to work with them again. That helps out a ton. Blue Box, sorry to ask another question. How do you tell a couple you and them aren't a great fit after the meeting without getting hate and a bad review? So you have to be really careful about it. But if you can present things as more of you giving the couple someone who can give them what they want, that's the best way to do it. Because I've had calls before where couples we just clash, and it's like, this isn't quite like the film that I'm making for them. That I'm making is not the film that they're gonna want. And so in that case, like I've emailed them and been like, usually it's on the phone. Because the phone's like way less, like email's so cold and informal. Phone calls are always better for this sort of stuff. And telling them, hey, like, I'm so sorry, but after talking to you and figuring out your vision for your wedding day, I don't think that I'm capable of creating that vision for you that you're looking for. And then don't leave it at that. Don't just like hang up on them, but also be like, and because of that, like, here are 3 other videographers that I know that are available for your wedding date that I've already reached out to. And all 3 of them are way more of what you're looking for. And then you send them those people. And so suddenly they're not upset because you've told them like that you want them to get the best wedding film that they can and that you can't give it to them. And so here are other people that can do that for them. And that helps out a lot. Shanta says, we can't wait for another Your Amazing Video Editing MacBook Buyer's Guide, but for 2023, yes, I literally just put that on the list I need to make. So I need to, I didn't even, it was like 2 days ago they got announced. My brother-in-law texted me, he's like, there's new MacBooks. I was like, ah, crap. So I need to look at that stuff up and figure that out. Yes. Anyways, thanks, Jeffa. Where was I? Yusef, have you tried the new DJI RS3 Mini? Are you still using gimbals? Yes, I'm still using gimbals. I believe that gimbal is coming today in the mail because I ordered it. I emailed DJI and they didn't send it to me. My contact for them is like, I don't know if they still work there or not. So it's been a while. And so they didn't reply. And I was like, how much is it? And I had this DJI credit, so it was free. Like, because I already had I think I'd built up, they have credit on their website from whenever you buy things and stuff like that. And I had enough credit to just buy the gimbal for free. And I was like, let's get a free gimbal. Okay, cool. Awesome. So yeah, I want to do a review about it at some point. Anyways. Oh yeah, I missed Michael Malik's question. What have you found is the best source for new wedding leads? Social media ads, Google ads, referrals, organic posts? Referrals are the biggest thing. Like referrals from past couples, referrals from other vendors, referrals from other people that you have a relationship with in the industry. That's like the king. Then I would probably say, I will tell you, I've never run ads aside from, I think I've boosted 2 Facebook posts in my entire time, doing stuff. I have not focused my attention on ads. Referrals though, and also organic posts are great. And if you do stuff like Instagram Reels, stuff like that's blowing up right now. It's insane how many views people are getting. So that's the thought. Warda says, book 7 weddings this year. Awesome. Finally invested in the light kit, the Amaran 100X. The Amaran, dude, fantastic light. So good. Sarah Canducci, this year I will work with a celebrity photographer who's been described from trusted colleagues that I know as the worst person they've ever worked with due to his lack of collaboration. Pray for me. Hey, that's okay. And I would tell you, because I've worked with some rough photographers before, kill them with kindness, be as generous as possible, and choose your battles. Okay, there's gonna be hills you're gonna want to die on. I've had weddings where the photographer's like, we don't have time to have the note read, and I'm like, no, the couple's gonna read their letters to each other now. This is the only thing that I care about. And they're like choose your hill that you're gonna die on, and then die on it, and just be nice otherwise. Storm Rolls says, I'm currently switching over to Sony from Canon. Just got a great deal on some lenses. Been in a nonstop loop trying to figure out if I should get the A7 III or A7 IV. Should I save the money? I gotta tell you that I'm a huge fan of the 10-bit color and just the improved image quality of the A7 IV over the A7 III cannot be understated. It's very, very good. If you want to save some money, I would buy the FX30. The A7 III is getting pretty old now. If it was me, I'd buy the FX30 if I couldn't afford the A7 IV. Cool. Okay. Carlos Pachico, how do you start selling short highlight films in a town full of people who want documentary style? Ooh, that's good. That's really good. Because I will tell you, whenever I got started filming weddings, a lot of people, because this is 2010, a lot of people were doing documentary edits, longer style edits. And so it was weird to offer a highlight, a shorter film. And then I realized that there were no rules, and I can do what I want. I can do shorter stuff. That's up to me. And so it's up to you what you want to offer in your business. Of course, you're gonna have couples that want longer stuff, but what I would do for it is I would sort of present it to people as an upgrade option. So basically, I'm you get your highlight. That's what I'm gonna focus my time on. You're gonna get a 4 to 5 minute highlight. Great, here's your highlight. Here's your video I'm making for you. Oh, but you also want the longer documentary. Okay, that's great. I'm happy to provide that for you as well for an extra $1,000 or an extra $2,000. Charge extra for things like that. And I think that's really going to help. Is that the FedEx man? Who is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. Who is? No, it's not. I don't know. It's some random person not ringing my doorbell right now. I'm doing a live stream, bro. I can't do it, and my wife's boobs out because she's feeding our baby.
I feel bad.
I don't got time to talk to you. Who are they on the doorbell camera? I'm so creepy. Just creeping on people. I can't talk right now. I know they can hear me talking in here too. That's the best part. They're going to be like, what do you want? Oh, they're gone. Oh, it was the UPS man. Okay, good. Anyways, yeah, my gimbal is here on the front porch. Okay, we'll open it here in a minute. Anyways, yeah, so like offer documentary edits as an upgrade. Aperture Buzz says, when I tell you I've learned a lot from you, thank you. Michael Memory says, the Ultimate Wedding Filmmaker course is great so far. Lots of information in a short amount of time. Thanks, man. I'm screenshotting that. You're making me my day here. For real, guys, if you want to get in on the Ultimate Wedding Filmmaker course, now is the time. Because tonight at midnight, it's going away. So if you want to level up your wedding filmmaking business, you want to improve it, you want to get more bookings, you want to get more leads, you want to grow a bigger beard. Okay, maybe not that, but it could be. It could be that. Probably not, but it could help. That's what I would do. Sorry, I got to save this testimonial. Thanks, man. So nice of you. Anyways, if anybody else has nice things to say about the course, that'd be great. Stormrunner, LLC or sole proprietorship? I answered this question earlier. You're probably fine with sole proprietor, but once you start growing more, then I would go LLC. Cool. Andre says, Perez, what's your advice on networking with venues or wedding planners? Being friendly, being fun to work with, making them look awesome. And so at like the very basic, at like the most basic, sending them individual emails after the wedding day with a link to the wedding video saying, hey, it was so great working with you. It was so great filming at your venue. Here's a link to the finished wedding film. I think it shows your venue in a fantastic light. I think it shows the decor that you set up at the reception in a fantastic light, especially at 3 minutes and 34 seconds. It's gorgeous. Send them that, give them the specific things so they want to watch it, so they want to see it, and they're like, yeah, this does look awesome. Then they're going to start liking you. That's where I would like start with things here. And then just asking them, hey, like, do you have people that you normally work with? I'd love to be one of those people. Just building that relationship, starting like that is good. Sarah Canducci, do you ever get creative block? How do you keep innovating, changing, and growing your product? I mean, I have before, especially with like editing wedding films, because it's just like the same thing over and over again. I find creating other stuff helps too, just to like free your mind some. Outsourcing the things that you don't enjoy doing can be a huge just weight off your shoulders. Stuff like that. Those two things do really help. Let's see here. Davin Carlson, why the time limit on the course registration? 2 reasons. Psychologically, because people, if I leave it open all the time, then I know that I've done this too. Like, if there's not a deadline, I'm not going to sign up for something. I'm going to be like, I'll put it off. And then suddenly, like, this is the new year. Okay, this is 2023. Like, what trajectory do you want to have for your business in 2023? Do you want it to grow? Do you want it to improve? And like, I want to help people right from the start, and like be there in the comments, helping them in the course. Like, be there available for them whenever they email me asking questions. Be there, like, helping everybody like grow. And if I don't like close it off, then it's just going to be like, people are going to be like, oh, I'll sign up eventually. And then like a week or two later, they're like, maybe I'll sign up. And then I know that I haven't, that I've like personally, if I don't have a deadline, then I'm not going to do something. So that's why I have to set deadlines for myself with my editing and with my clients and with my work and with my YouTube videos. So that's why I have like a time limit on it. Like, I want it to like be available so I can put all my attention on it. And then we're going to close it so I don't have to think about the sale anymore. And I can focus more on like the people that are in it. Oh, Brian Rondon, invest in lighting, audio or lighting first. I'm going to say audio, but then lighting pretty soon after. Earhart Productions. So I've worked my way up to $4,000 weddings, still shooting on the A7 IIIs, and they do the job. I'm guessing the next step is that deeper color depth. I mean, it sounds like you're already doing a great job with $4,000 weddings. Congratulations on that. That's great. I don't know if you necessarily need to upgrade yet. Like, you can if you want to, and I think that the extra color depth, I think once you do it, you're like, holy crap, this looks really good. This is awesome. At the same time, though, like, what does your audio game look like? Like, are you recording good enough audio? Can you improve that audio quality anymore? And from a storytelling standpoint, like, can we improve that story even more? Can we build deeper relationships with those couples so that way they're more open and willing to be interviewed and bare their hearts and souls to you on camera? Can you get more like raw emotion out of them, things like that. That's just something to think about. Because if you're doing all these things and you feel good about it, then yeah, might as well upgrade. But there's a lot of stuff to focus on, and there's a lot of, I feel like buying a new camera is an easy way to do something, right? Like it's a guaranteed swipe credit card, new camera, it's better quality, which is great. I make a lot of videos about camera gear, but it's more than that, right? Like if you can tell a better story, and that's harder to do, but it's better. So yeah, I talk about this a lot in the Ultimate Wedding Filmmaker course about storytelling and like doing things like that. So if you want to check it out, yeah. Let's see here. Fita says, hey, first time here. Have you ever gotten work from previous clients for other types of projects other than weddings? Yes, I've had clients that are like, hey, we loved you doing our wedding video. I had like a bride's dad who runs like trains dogs, like hunting dogs. He was like, you want to make a video for me, son? I was like, that would be interesting. And then like the timing didn't work out and I referred him to a good friend of mine. But my point here is like, yeah, things like this happen and it's great. And like, the nice thing is if you charge the couple a good amount for the wedding video, then they're already going to be willing to pay like a good amount for other stuff too. So yeah, totally. Rowan Wesolek says, can you do an in-detail course on release forms? Like what language to use for talent release forms and stock footage? Ooh, I like that. That's interesting. As far as like release forms go, like usually there are a ton of templates out there and like all the stock footage sites are going to have release forms that they're going to let you download to use. So like they're going to have their own that have like their own company name on them, but as long as you have like a generic release form that says the same things, which is usually the person's name, their info, sometimes I want a photo of them, but basically it's and like some text saying in a signatures area where it basically says, hey, by signing this, you're allowing us to use this footage to be sold for whatever it needs to be used for. As long as you have that, like any of the stock footage sites should accept something like that. So yeah. Chris Truitt, if you ever have a couple here in Texas you need to pass along, hit me up. Chris, where are you at in Texas? That's also critical. Kyle, how do you match all your audio and post getting all the timestamps correct? Are you talking about like editing the audio and syncing up all the audio from like different recorders? I use a program called Pluralize to do that. There's also built-in syncing stuff in DaVinci and in I think in Final Cut and in Premiere. So yeah, that'll help. Ryan Carmen, thoughts on using TikTok to market your videography business? Yes. TikTok's fantastic. There's a guy, Justin Porter Media. He's based in San Antonio, like an hour away from me, and his work is fantastic. And he's just blown up on TikTok. Love the guy. We're filming together soon, actually. Anyways, yeah, look at what he's doing and do stuff like him. Also, there's this guy, Brian Scott Rawson. He runs BSR Wedding Films on TikTok. Look at his work. Look at the stuff he's making. Look at the reels he's making. Look at the way that he's editing. Yeah, you can do very good editing and get crazy views and like a lot of bookings through that. Osby says lens stabilization or gimbal. Both? Why not both? Yeah, do both. Aaron Rinden, I did a Sweet 16 recently. It's probably my best video to date. Would you ever do a live stream where you critique non-wedding videos? Yeah, I've critiqued Sweet 16s on the stream. I've critiqued quinceañeras. Those all kind of, go together, right? It's all sort of like family events. Yeah, I'll review it in the live stream if you submit it. And you get selected by Rachel. Jiffer says FX30 is arriving tomorrow. I do real estate video. Great. You're going to love it. I will say, usually you want pretty wide angle lenses for that FX30 because it's already a crop sensor. So you might want to look, I think there's like is that a 10 to 20 millimeter or like a 12 to 24 millimeter? You might want to look at that for that camera just to go wide enough. Let's see here. Kalando Hutchison, how do you edit documentary weddings? I mean, I don't really edit documentary weddings. I don't offer documentary wedding edits because they are really long and really boring, and I'd rather make something shorter that's more heartfelt. So I can't answer that question for you. I'm sorry. But you can do it if you want to. Yourself says, go get that gimbal. Yeah, I need to do that. Let's see here. Rowan says, does your wedding filmmaker course include a private chat with other members and mentor opportunities? There is a comment section on every lesson where you can leave a comment where I can reply and other members can reply to you as well. There's not a dedicated Facebook group, though, for example, or something like that. As far as mentor opportunities, I mean, it's kind of like me talking to you through the lessons, but otherwise, no. there's not that. Storm Rolls, thanks for the advice. This decision has been the bane of my existence, and I've been binging videos. Cool. Photorex, will 2023 be better than the previous? I hope so. I hope next year's better than the year before. You can always hope for that, right? I mean, it's not that hard to be better than like 2020, for example. Have you checked out the Godox ML60 lights? So compact, they look nice. Not yet. I've heard good things about them. I need to build a relationship with Godox. Justin Porter knows them really well. I need to just bug him about it. Be like, Justin, you know them? Have them send me a light so I can review it. Photorex Productions. Did you make a promotion ad for weddings to book in 2023? No, I did not. But not a bad thing. You can do it. Try it out. Put it up on Instagram. Put it up on TikTok. James Brown, Blackmagic 6K, A6500, A74. How do you edit when done? I think you put it all together. Yeah, you can edit it all together. Oh my gosh, Jason Morris is here. Hey, Matt, hope you're well. Jason! Dude, I love seeing you on Instagram. I see your reels all the time. I see you on TikTok. I see you everywhere. And you're great. And you got good muscles, man. Okay? I always think that when I see him, like, that guy's got good muscles. Dang. Anyways. You're cool. You're cool. We should do something sometime. That'd be fun. That hustle and grind life. Good afternoon from Ohio. Hey, man. If there's one thing I know, hustle and grinding happens in Ohio, right? Chris Truitt says, I'm in the central Texas area, but travel over. Okay, if I have anything that comes up. Also join, there's like an Austin wedding videographers group if you're not in there. Join that, because there's a lot of people in there, and I post, I've posted referrals in there before when they were like local stuff that I didn't want to like post in my group to like international people. All these people are like, I'll fly into Texas. Like, you don't need to fly in. It's like a $2,000 wedding at a farmhouse. Like, you don't need to do that. But like, I'll post in the Austin group. Ricardo, what type of prep work do you do with couples before the wedding? A good amount. Spend a good time talking to the couple ahead of time, meeting with them, either like Zoom or in person. Either way is cool. Talking about their relationship, how they met, how they fell in love. Talk to them about what their vision is for the wedding day. Really just get to know them and make them comfortable with me. And that makes a huge difference in filming. Ryland, what is your purpose for your goofy reels? It's fun. I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like so much of my YouTube channel has been very sort of like, hello, let me teach you how to do something. This is a tutorial. But like, I don't get a chance to like make as much funny stuff as I want to. And so I have all these like funny ideas. I'm like, crap, I just need to make reels about it. So I've been doing that. I did get monetized for YouTube Shorts. Like, I think that starts like February 1st. So I'm planning on February 1st, I'll be posting a lot more YouTube Shorts as well, which shouldn't interfere with like the YouTube videos though. Those like in a separate tab. So you can watch them if you want to, and you won't see them otherwise. So yeah, if you want to see them, you can see them. Cool. Brandon, is it necessary to film in 4K versus HD? Can the client really tell the difference? I would say it's getting more, yes is becoming more and more common. Not every couple is going to be able to tell the difference, but like everybody's buying 4K TVs these days. Everybody's got 4K monitors. Everybody's got to buy an IMAX with 5K monitors. It's getting there, okay? It's getting there. Thanks, Jeff. That hustle and grind life. I have an unrelated question. Should I leave it in the comments? If you want to, that's fine. Let's see here. Photorex Productions, thanks for the advice. Isaac Peterson, have you used the DJI RS3 Mini? That's such a great question, Isaac. Oh my goodness. Wait right here, just a moment. Hold on. Oh, literally from my front porch right now. You asked, and you shall receive the RS3 Mini, I think. Or this is, I don't know, baby formula or something like that. And I'm like, crap, this isn't what I wanted. It's too many packages. You need too many packages whenever you have kids. We don't feed our baby formula. I don't know why I said that. It's Rachel's over there. Formula. It's a joke, honey. Speaking of jokes, while I open this box, did you guys watch my latest Instagram reel / TikTok post? You can if you want to. I thought it was funny. I was like, am I going here? Yeah, I'm going to go here with this joke. All right, cool. Anyways, okay. Why is it so? exhausting to open. Anyways, Jason Morris, not a question about classic painting with you playing poker with cats. So good. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's a thing. Okay, it's my brother like commissioned that. Basically, like we have a painting up. This one up here, you can barely see it. This one was given to us for our wedding. And then we were like, we need more cat paintings. So we just bought more, and we bought them from all over the world. Look at that. It's a little baby. This thing's so light already. Thank God. They're even like ultra light, 795 grams on it. Like, okay, cool. Wowee. Yeah, I've been wanting this thing. Been wanting to try this thing. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here with this thing. Man. Mark Maya, ever thought about 360 footage for weddings? Yeah, dude, I have I did a video about like using a 360 camera at a wedding. I did, so it's on my channel, I promise, if you want to check that out. That was from a few years ago. Brede, inspired from Montreal, how do you batch schedule reels? I used to just like record a lot and just save them as drafts, then post them every few days. I got on Instagram now, like has batching built in, like they have a scheduler built in now, and I've been using that, and it works really well. So, yeah, that's an option there. Let's see here. Storm Rolls. When you do destination films like your one in Iceland, how do you charge / plan for this? So that's like, I don't know, Iceland weddings and like international weddings are definitely different, because I feel like for like local wedding, how am I supposed to open this box? Oh, okay, it all slides out like that. Okay, I'm figuring things out here. With destination weddings, like if you have a wedding like in the States, for example, if you're in America, like you can get an idea of how much a wedding will cost just like a few states over or something like that. That'll be like a couple grand, right? For you to like travel, fly, rental car, hotel, etc., etc. Whenever you travel internationally, there's a lot more cost and fees. Like how long are you going for? Do you have to deal with like all of these other like issues because it's international? So that's where something where you're gonna have to make like a custom quote, which we had to do, and basically it's gonna be different for every single one. But charging a good, like figuring out what you want to charge, and then like making sure you charge like several $1,000s to cover your travel. That's like the biggest thing. Cinema 77 Houston, have you ever heard of Edius or heard anyone who uses it? Yes, I've heard of Edius. I've not used it. It's funny. I know a few people that use Edius, and the people that I know that use Edius are like diehard Edius fans. And like, I'm always using Edius, Grass Valley for life, bro. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like it's so funny how like loving the community is about Edius. I love it. So yeah, I've heard of it. It's cool. I haven't used it. Captured Group. Have you ever lost footage? Yes, I have. I had a wedding. Ooh, look at this. It's like, yeah, I had a wedding, like my second year of filming weddings, third year or something. I think it was the second year. And I forgot to copy my second shooter's memory card. Thankfully, I still had like all of my footage from the reception, so I just had like one angle that I was missing for like the exit. So it wasn't the end of the world, but it was still kind of terrifying. So yeah, stuff like that happens. Ricardo, thanks for the congratulations about the baby. Aaron Rendon says, I recently got the Aperture P60C. Can you use panel lights for weddings? Or would you stick to something with a more focused beam? I have used panel lights before. I think they're a good, just basic, cheap option. Like if you're looking for, because like you can buy panel lights like $100 on Amazon, $50 on Amazon. There's panel lights everywhere. It's like once you're like, I want a focus beam, that's where you're gonna start spending in the hundreds. So yeah, you can do that. You're not gonna have that the throw, but I think that's okay. Let's see here. Let's get this thing open here. Sammy Acevedo, sup? You just earned a new subscriber. Thanks, buddy. It's good. I'm sorry if I missed y'all's questions. I kind of scrolled down to the bottom while I was outside getting this package. Trent Hunter, do you recommend switching to DaVinci Resolve? I constantly have 5+ ratings in the pipeline, but I'm tired of Adobe crashing. I can tell you, and I think I have a video coming out about this literally like tomorrow. But I think you could switch. It's not that hard to switch. Like, I picked up the majority of it in a day. Like, it'll take you more than a day to learn the coloring. The coloring's a whole other tab. That's a whole other thing. But like editing, it's it's shockingly similar to Premiere in many ways. And especially if you like set up the keyboard shortcuts the same, not a hard transition. I think you can totally do it. Go Crazy Rick. Hey, I have a MacBook Air and want to edit a video or record on my phone. Any websites or apps you suggest? Yeah, DaVinci Resolve. It's free. It's fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, look at this little baby gimbal. Look at that. It's so tiny. Like, it's almost enough, like, I'm like, wow, I can, like, it's like the size of my hand is the grip. So if you want to extend the grip, you got to get the feet for it. But I got to say, I feel like when gimbals first started, they were about this light. We had these really nice, super lightweight gimbals. The problem is that they had really weak motors, so they could barely hold like a mirrorless camera. You couldn't do anything else with them. And so then all the manufacturers were like, bigger, beefier, bigger cameras. And now they're like, hey, we're going to go small again. You want a baby? And I'm like, I do want a baby. It's so cute. What the heck? Okay, I got to figure this thing out. Really, really neat. Ryan Carmen, how do you deal with low motivation to edit? Is there anything you do to fall back in love with editing again? Yeah, I would tell you if you're not feeling it, like try to edit something else. Like make a YouTube video. Make just like a dumb video. I've done that before. Like, yeah, I'm just going to work on this comedy video. I'm going to work on like a family video. I'm going to work on a travel film. Anything like that can be really, really helpful. And that just like to reset your mind. Isaiah says, are there ways to market yourself as a newer wedding videographer outside of Instagram? Yes, there are. I would say biggest thing for you would probably be to work on networking. Network with other photographers and filmmakers. Network with as many other like wedding planners, etc. that you can, and that'll help out a lot. Amante, I'd like to show you a wedding of mine. Yeah, not right now. I'm not doing a live stream, the review live stream right now. But next Thursday, probably do it then. Let's see here. If you go Crazy Rick, do I download with Mac OS X or Windows? I would download with Mac because you're on a MacBook Air. Yeah, there's a lot of tutorials. Look up Casey Faris on YouTube. CASEYFARIS on YouTube. He has some great DaVinci Resolve tutorials. Love that guy. Look at the little feet. He's got little baby feet. It's so mini. Part of me is like, can you guys make it even smaller? Can we like just like a little pencil gimbal, like a little thing? That'd be cool. Anyways, let's see here. And Levi says best budget color accurate 4K monitor. I have a video about this I posted in like late 2021, and those monitors are still pretty accurate, I'd say. Asus ProArt makes some really good stuff that aren't super expensive. I would look at that. Brian, are you going to name your new gimbal? Oh no, I didn't think about that. I could. I don't know what I'd name. I don't know what I'd name her. We'll figure it out. I gotta take off this is the satisfying moment when I take off the little protective. That's nice. That's nice. Dylan says, maybe not a question to ask now. I constantly get a blue screen error when editing and exporting a video. Update your graphics card drivers. That's usually the cause of things like that. Wow, this thing, I have to keep reminding myself that the batteries are internal. Yeah, like the batteries are internal. It doesn't have interchangeable batteries because this thing is light. I'm like, how big is the battery you put in this thing here? I know that I think they said the battery life was like 10 hours, so I'm interested to see if I can film a whole wedding day with it or not. Because I did that with the Zhiyun, what was it? The Weeble S2, and that thing, the battery life on it was pretty rough. But this thing, dude, this is so light. I like that a lot. Depends on the battery life, though. Okay, I'm going to have to get this thing charged, plug that in, see how that goes. We got little cables here. Also, I didn't know if it came with the Sony multi-control cable, so I bought one of those just in case. I don't know. Yeah, cool. So I got this thing charged now and do all that. That'll be fun. Levi says ASMR with Matt. There you go. To be honest, the Mini looks almost the same size as the Pro from the pictures and videos. I don't have a Pro, I'm sorry, but I will tell you, this is definitely like the lightest gimbal that I've ever used. I would say it is, what's impressive is that the the Zhiyun Crane 2 was a very light gimbal, and this one is a little bit lighter. So I don't know. I'm big on light gimbals. Big on that. Anyways, Isaiah. Okay, we're gonna end this thing here soon, guys, because it's been like an hour and 10 minutes, and yeah, my voice is starting to go. Anyways, how much do you communicate with your clients leading up to the wedding, especially if you book them a year out? I would talk to them right after they book you, of course, get some details. And then I would talk to them maybe like 3 months out from the wedding. Like once they have a lot more details figured out, talk to them again, and then talk to them like a week before once they have the schedule figured out, just to like do like a final run through of things. And then you're good to go. Ryan says, the RS3 Mini ideal for shooting with an A6600. Probably. Like it's just going to be a lot lighter than the RS2 Pro. And the A6600 is a really light camera, so I think you'd be fine with this. Shotmaker, that gimbal isn't small, it's totally normal size. Yes, there's a perfectly normal sized gimbal. Perfectly average. That joke, oh my gosh. Ricardo Carranza, did Sony fix the FX3 firmware 2.0 glitch? I don't know if they've updated that yet. So, oh, they did. They just released version 2.0.2. Cool. Didn't know that. All right, great. Good for Sony. Glad they updated that. Cool. Otherwise, how much RAM do you recommend Mac OS X for Premiere and AE? At least 16 gigs, I'd say, for a Mac with the new Macs. Cool. Otherwise, I'm gonna go play with this thing now after I charge it. What else do you need to know here? Last thing here. Ultimate Wedding Filmmaker, guys. It's available until tonight at midnight. If you want to check it out, if you've ever been considering filming weddings, if you want to get into filming weddings, if you're already an established wedding filmmaker and you want to grow your wedding filmmaking business, basically, wherever you are in your wedding filmmaking journey, if you want to improve it, this course is going to help you out. And it's only available until tonight at midnight, and there are payment plans available. So please do not miss that. So you can pay over time. Like literally, if you book one wedding, it's going to pay for itself. It's going to be great. Cool. All right. With that, I'll review this thing eventually. Don't worry. And I got to film a wedding with it next weekend after this one. Yeah. All right. Now my desk is a mess because I got all this camera gear out, but we'll figure that out. So good seeing you guys. So good hanging out with you. Please, yeah, check out the Ultimate Wedding Filmmaker course. Send me an email if you got any questions or anything like that. And yeah, I'll see you in a video tomorrow, actually, probably. So yeah, keep an eye out. See you then.